What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Brian Daniels back once again for another Is It Good review right here on Dragon Blogger. So we're going to be talking about the game Control, which is set to release tomorrow on the 27th. And this game, developed by Remedy, known for their famous game Alan Wake, as well as of course the Max Payne franchise and their game they released before this, Quantum Break. Control is a action-adventure video game that is also published by 505 Games, and I want to thank 505 and Remedy for providing me with a copy of this game. The game does take place around what is called the Federal Bureau of Control, as players are going to be taking control of the main character, Jesse Faden, who happens to be the Bureau's new director. Players are going to be exploring what is called the Oldest House. This is a paranormal research facility. It's a secret United States government research facility, and this is such an interesting game with a very deep story that revolves around the paranormal. The way I like to describe this game is really simple. It is a mix between the X-Files and a little bit of Stranger Things, but with a lot of Alan Wake. And Alan Wake is one of my favorite games ever made by Remedy. Of course, there's Max Payne, but then you also have a lot of references to Alan Wake in this game, which I found very interesting, as well as just its own very unique story. This is a very action, as you can see here, heavily action-based game where you'll be using a gun that is called the service weapon that does take on multiple shapes. This game does have a lot of RPG elements into it too, where you can level up Jesse throughout the course of the game by earning experience points. You also will be collecting resources to use, as you can see here, assets and materials to use for upgrades. The game also has different missions, different weapons in the form of different forms of the service weapon. So you're not going to get like different weapons per se, but you'll get different forms. You can also have different personal mod effects to your service weapon, which allow you for, collecting better energy, headshot damage percentage, and everything else in between. There also is, like an RPG, different missions in this game, which I found very interesting. Unlike Alan Wake, which was a little bit linear, which was pretty linear of a game, this game is very open world. There are different floors of the Federal Bureau of Control for you to investigate and explore. There's a lot of collectibles in this game to find, so for those of you who are collectible enthusiasts such as myself, when you play games like this, you're gonna find that to be something you'll want to do. And even if you're not big on finding all of the collectibles in a game, this is going to be one of those games where you will absolutely want to find all the collectibles in this game, because the collectibles definitely tell the story. I will tell you this, I am one for finding collectibles and read them only if the story is intriguing. And I'm going to tell you guys something. Remedy Entertainment has returned to form with this game. This game is going to give you a lot of different quests to do. It's going to throw a lot of different things in your way. There's also some challenges where you'll have to go back to certain areas of the game to defend certain areas, and you'll unlock more mods. There's even a skill tree which allows you to level up your health. It'll level up your other powers. You don't just have a service weapon, you do have abilities in this game. You can levitate, you'll be able to kind of launch items at characters, as you can see. I do believe I showed this off here. Yeah, there it is. In this gameplay footage here of me using the launch ability to simply take anything in this game. You can launch just about any item, as it's highlighted there, and throw it at your enemies. This is a game that you will, if you want to do everything, you're going to invest about 20 to 23 or 24 hours in, because there is a lot of stuff to do. As you can see here, I'm taking over what's called a control point. There's over 20 control points in this game to unlock, and it does, some of them will actually shape-shift the rooms. This game has a lot to do with objects of power. So you know, things like Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, for instance, is even mentioned in this game, which I thought was pretty cool. That's not one of the items you can use as a weapon in this game, but there are going to be places where you're going to go to try to control these objects of power to gain their abilities, and you're going to have to go into what's called the astral plane to do what's like a training mission to be able to unlock and use that ability. I haven't honestly finished this game yet because this game has so much to do. I keep getting thrown different quests my way. I will say that the dialogue and the story itself is very deep. The graphics in this game are insanely beautiful. The art style here is one that I truly appreciate, and you can definitely tell that the fine folks at Remedy have taken the necessary time to handcraft such a beautifully artistically looking game. I will say that my biggest overall complaint with this game is the slowdown and the buffering and the glitching. There's a lot of times where the map, if you pull it up, it won't show it all the way. There's a lot of times where moving between the menus is there's a lot of lag, so I'm hoping that Remedy can patch that in a future update, but I have to review what I'm presented with. I've had this game for 2 weeks, and that was my biggest overall complaint, is the lag and the slowdown, which, you know, can sometimes be detrimental, especially when engaging in fights such as this, as you can see here. The game does not have a difficulty for you to select. There's no easy, normal, hard, extreme, anything like that, so you have to play this game on the difficulty that it is presented to you, which I like games like that. It doesn't give you a way to kind of, you know, duck out, if you will, or you have to play by their rules. However, like I said before, my biggest complaint about Control overall is really just the lagging, buffering, glitching, whatever you want to call it, and you'll experience it as, if, you know, too, if there isn't a day one update tomorrow when this game officially launches. But other than that, I gotta give this game, I would say, a 9.5 out of 10, just because of how beautifully done this game is. There's so much to do. The story is definitely enthralling and deep. I highly recommend that you pick up this game. This is absolutely a day one purchase. And to compare this to Quantum Break, which was Remedy's last game that came out, this game is 10 times better than that game. I highly recommend it. Thank you guys so much for watching this review of Control, and thanks once again to 505 Games and Remedy for providing me a review copy of this game. Be sure to watch all of our other video game reviews and gameplays and Let's Plays right here on our Dragon Blogger YouTube channel. You can also find us over on twitch.tv/DragonBloggers. My name is Brian Daniels. Until next time, see ya!